Hello everyone, my name is Griffin and we are back with another reaction video. We are reacting to Amala. I'm not going to try and pronounce her last name because I'll butcher the ever-living hell out of it. But this is I Love Leftist Logic. Just, left or right, a lot of their logic is just... They don't think logically. They think with their emotions first, rather than logically, which a lot of people nowadays need to do. But let's see what this leftist logic is that Imala has in her video, shall we?
So I'm going to tell a story, and I'm sure that many of you can relate to this. You ever wake up some days and you're like, you know what, I need something small. Maybe a stick of deodorant, maybe some mascara, and you think, I'm gonna go to Target or Walmart or CVS, and I'm just gonna quickly pick it up, head back home. You get to the Target.
I've never actually been to a CVS before. I know that they give like mile-long fucking receipts. But yeah, I've never been to a CVS before.
Walmart or CVS. You head inside to grab your stick of deodorant, and it's locked behind glass.
Let me in. Let me in.
So then you have to walk around like a toddler looking for your mom after you've got lost in the mall to find an employee who's willing to actually open the glass for you to pick out your stick of deodorant. It's demoralizing. It's quite frankly embarrassing. And a lot of us will ask ourselves, why is this happening? Well, many on the left will tell you it's due to racism or classism.
I love the logic behind this. I find it fucking hilarious. Every time I've seen a video where the Walmart or the Target or whatever store, whatever supermarket has stuff locked behind a glass door, they always say it's because of racism, classism, or whatever other stupid shit they have to say. It's like, no, it's not. It's because they have a problem with theft. And sadly enough, a lot of the stuff that's being stolen, like when I first saw these videos, it was a lot of these products were for, black people that were locked behind glass doors. And it's not, and they were like, oh, this is racist to do this. It's like, no, it's not racist. It's locked behind a glass door because, sorry about that. It's because these were the products that were mainly being stolen consistently on a daily basis. So their solution was to put it behind a glass door. Now, if you don't want these things behind a locked glass door, make it so, just, help stop with the theft. Stop stealing shit. And then it won't be locked behind a glass door. I mean, I know money is tight and everything, but theft is not the fucking answer to this shit.
But I have a different explanation and a much simpler one. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
Guys, before we get into this video, if you'd like to support the work that I'm doing on this channel, I have a Patreon. The link is in the description down below. Sign up if you'd like to, no pressure. Now, there's a video that's gone viral that actually sparked this discussion. So without further ado, we're getting into that.
Tell me why it just took me an entire hour for this single bag of items. I'll tell you why. It's because they're essential. And apparently now my Target locks away all essential items. So while you could get like $40 La Roche-Posay or makeup that was sitting out, my $8 body wash was locked away, as was my deodorant and my husband's body wash and his razors.
Yes, because that is the stuff that is getting stolen the most, is the essential items. Look, the thing is, things are getting more expensive, and the pay for people's work is not keeping up with the price of everything in the world going up. Things are getting more expensive and harder to afford. I see that that is a problem. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it isn't. But the solution to it is, theft is not the solution. It's not. And the essentials like, toothpaste, toothbrushes, hair, shampoo, body wash, deodorant, lotion, all the essential items are the stuff that's getting stolen the most. And people are not thinking logically, thinking, oh, the reason why they're behind glass doors is probably because they have a theft problem. No, they're thinking, oh, it's locked behind glass doors. Maybe it's racism or classism. In what world does that logically make any sense whatsoever?
and like the basic things that I went to Target to get. Behold, the dystopian nightmare that is my Target now. Look at it. And I, like many other former Target lovers, was planning on perusing the fall items, maybe sniffing a candle or two, maybe buying what I didn't need, but I was literally fighting for my life in that store. I was so desperate to get out of there. And then when I finally get to the end, there's a giant line because about one employee left. One lone employee was not opening cabinets and was manning the checkout register. So the self-checkout line is all the way to the back of the store.
So again, this is an experience that many of us have had, right? You're going to the store, you're trying to get things and you can't anymore because you need a babysitter essentially to do your shopping. It's interesting that her conclusion on this is that they're simply choosing to lock up essential items instead of thinking that maybe people are going into the stores and stealing those items more often than others. Like, to me, it's quite obvious. Why would Target want to be putting their stuff behind glass? It's extra work for them and their employees. They have to pay for the supplies to lock their products behind the little glass that you have to open every single time. And all in all, it just makes for a worse experience for their customers. Do you think that's what these major corporations and companies are aiming at? They want you to shop there. They want you to actually buy their products. But when people come to those stores and steal the items instead, guess what Target has to do? Take action. And the action that they take is soon to become your dystopian nightmare.
Yeah, see, the thing is, when it comes to these corporations, despite how much they make a year, if they've never addressed the theft problem, it would be major losses for them. And if it was throughout the entire store and not just the essential items, inevitably, at some point, the store in that area would shut down and just go away. And then you would lose an entire supermarket to get your shit. They have to take action in order to protect their assets so the store can stay in that area so you can still shop there. It's a pain in the ass for them too when they have to put this shit behind glass door, essentially behind bars, just so people can't fucking steal them. People need to think logically nowadays. They think way too much on their emotions and idiocy.
So there are people to blame in this instance, but it's not the ones that you think. Now, this video ended up getting tons of responses and very interesting ones from leftists in particular. Let's watch.
And apparently now my Target locks away all essential items.
Y'all know that they've been doing
God,
this
her eyes.
to things that Black people, especially Black women, need since like the dawn of time.
Look, racism, yes, was rampant. Like, before I was born. But none of what's happening in these stores is racist. It's just not. They lock up the things that are on the frequent list of theft. And they have to. I already explained why they have to. I'm not going to keep explaining why, but it's obvious why they have to.
Right? But we, you and I, didn't care. We didn't say shit then.
The thing I find funny when it comes to offense and racist, it's never when something's offensive, it's always let's for example, let's use a joke. If somebody's joking about a particular race or a particular kind of people, the joke that it's targeted at are the people that the joke is targeted at find it funny and they laugh. But it's never the people who are in that race or in that group that ever find it offensive. It's the people outside of it that say, hey, this is offensive. No. It's the same thing with this shit. It's just a small group of people who say this is racist when it's clearly not. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Not a damn thing. We were just like, quiet. Never saw a problem with it. Never posted a TikTok about it. That's for damn sure. But we're big mad now. Real concerned.
I knew. The white allies were going to come out in full force on this one with this exact narrative, and we've seen this many times before. You have to ask yourself, if you're walking into a store and you're seeing things like, I don't know, black foundation, hair products, things of that nature locked up, why? Why would they do that?
Okay, so I'm at my local Walmart and I'm just looking at the makeup section and I noticed this. And I'm looking at the concealers and, you know, they're all normal, but then once you get down to the darker shades, they have little security tags all over them, but they don't for the lighter colors. So Walmart tell me that you're racist without actually saying that you're racist.
To a store, a black customer is the same as a white customer. You walk in, you pick your products, you pay the money, and then you leave. Green is green, baby. They don't care what you look like. They don't care who you are. They don't care where you come from. All they want is a new customer. Now, I can think of a reason why some black products might be placed behind glass and some white products aren't. But we'll let one more leftist respond and see if they can break through my logic before we go there.
This been happening to black.
Well, not her logic, just, you know, actual logic, which this Amala seems to have. She seems like a very logical person, and a lot of these people just can't seem to, you know, come to an actual logical thinking decision.
Black people. Go watch the other video I have tagged in the description as well. But yeah, this has been happening to black people for years upon years. When I lived in the city back in 2019, everything in the Targets were locked up like this. I hated going to the Target in the city because there was so much surveillance. And when you live in the city, most of the time you're using public transportation. I know I was. And so you usually have a bigger purse or a bigger backpack on you. So that surveillance is even more extreme, especially if you're black. Y'all don't care when it happens to black people. You'll justify it and say things like, well, you know, those areas do have higher crime rates. It should just be a lesson for them. Them meaning black people. Also, things being locked up in general has been a thing for decades in predominantly black areas. This country uses predominantly black spaces as a social experiment. Actually, scratch that. This country uses black people as lab rats, and y'all do not care. And when black people talk about our experiences, y'all label us as conspiracy theorists. I say this time and time and time again. You have to look at where you are on the social ladder. Honey, if you're all the way at the top of the social ladder, are you gonna know what's going on at the bottom? No. And that's why y'all act all surprised when the shit that's happening at the bottom comes to the top.
Not an argument in sight. Not a piece of logic in sight. It's so crazy because if you are a black person, let's say, living in a city where this is constantly a problem for you and you are trying to abide by the law, go to stores, get your products and leave, the people that you should be mad at are not the stores. You should be mad at the people who are responsible for the stealing that brings about the glass cases. That is where you should direct your anger towards the people that are actually creating the problem. And I will say it again, it is not within these companies' best interest to lock up items behind glass. It makes your experience worse. It makes you want to go there less. What they are concerned about at the end of the day is their profit. So if they can profit with everything open and allowing you to run around the store, grabbing all the things that you like and buying it, that's what they will do. But they can no longer do that. And that is why stores are closing all across this nation in metropolitan areas. And just in case for some reason you don't believe me that shoplifting is a massive epidemic across this country, here's some evidence.
Smashing display cases, scooping up armloads of expensive bags and clothing.
The sad thing is, I think they had a law now for theft. It's up to $900 before it's considered theft, which I think is fucking illogical and stupid. But the other thing is, these employees are not allowed to do anything. They're not allowed to stop them. They can shout at them and tell them to stop all they want, but they're not allowed to physically stop them, which I think they should. You should be able to tackle them down and stop them from stealing. But they can't because they'll lose their job. They'll get in trouble. They could be sued or some stupid shit like that. I'm sorry, but if you're stealing, your ass should get tackled and stopped.
This dude is... I can't believe I'm seeing this.
See, it's the security guard. He I'm sorry, but if you are hired as a security guard and you see this shit, you should be allowed to physically stop the person. Take all the shit they've stolen and kick their ass out.
Shit.
Rampant crime has become a regular part of life. CNN reporter witnesses 3 thefts in 30 minutes at a San Francisco Walgreens. Here's why retailers say they're fleeing the Bay Area. Yeah.
Back in my Rite Aid, and there's nothing to steal because this Rite Aid, like so many other Rite Aids, is closing down because everybody stole everything. And the workers here don't know if they're getting jobs. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's the other problem. Is this when theft becomes so bad that these companies have to leave the area, it is because of these people who steal that other people are losing their jobs. If you people want someone to blame for this stuff getting locked up and stores closing down and losing their jobs, blame the people who are constantly stealing shit. It's horrible.
Losers.
And a lot of this is happening. Why? Because we've gone soft on crime. These people can basically go around stealing whatever it is that they want or need, as some leftists might say, and nothing happens to them. They're never really arrested for the most part, and if they are, they spend a moment in jail just to go back out on the streets and do the same thing the next day. And people are going to have to contend with the fact that a lot of this is happening in leftist areas or blue-run cities. So how exactly is it racism if the very people or side that claims to care about black people is responsible for these things being locked behind glass? And I get the frustration, right? As a law-abiding citizen who goes into these stores, I would love it to be an easier experience for me. It is quite
Thankfully, the Walmarts that I go to that are close to me in my area, or the Cub Foods, or any of the stores that I go to, they don't have anything locked up behind glass. Thankfully, except for the normal things that would be locked up behind glass, video games and electronics and stuff like that, which is understandable because they are hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars. But none of the essentials, food or anything like that, is locked behind glass in the areas that are close to me. So I'm thankful for that. But yeah, it's just times are just horrible.
Frankly embarrassing to have to go and get a babysitter employee to grab products for you. But it's only going to get worse if we do nothing about it. Soon, you know what's gonna happen? You're probably gonna have to head into the stores, and Target's gonna have to hire a bunch of employees, and you'll get an assigned one to help you do your shopping because everything is going to be locked up. Soon, going to the store for us is gonna feel like an inmate going to commissary. And that's because we're all getting punished for other people's behavior. And this is sort of foundational to leftist logic, and I'll give you an example here. We had an issue where a lot of students of color were not meeting their academic standards when graduating high school in some states. Instead of dealing with the issue and saying we need to work with these students to have them actually meet the standard, instead they just lower the standards and say you don't have to meet a certain threshold in order to graduate or to move on.
That is another thing that I couldn't understand the logical decision behind that. If these people aren't graduating at the standard that's originally set, why lower the standard? Help these people, because everybody has a different rate of learning. Not everybody learns at the same rate. But you should sit with these people and help them so they can reach the standard needed to graduate. Don't lower the standard, because at that point, people are just getting dumber and dumber and dumber instead of smarter and smarter and smarter. You're lowering the standard so stupid people can graduate, and they would make society worse.
On to a higher level.
And that's exactly what's happening here.
We have a lot of people who day in and day out are going out into the streets to commit crimes, and instead of saying you need to see your time in jail and you need to actually be held accountable for your actions, we go, you know what, let's just decriminalize that, and instead put them out on the street the next day. And I want to make it clear, while this may be an issue that's predominantly affecting black communities, it's not just black people who are responsible for shoplifting. In fact, I saw a story the other day that says Gilmore Girls star Adam Wiley just got arrested for shoplifting in a Target.
It's getting ghetto out here.
And if we don't do something about it, we're the ones who are going to be subjected to the consequences. So here's the natural progression of things, right? People go and steal essential items and they get locked behind glass. Then they go and steal things that aren't so essential, as we've seen happen all over the United States now. And then everything is locked up. And if that's not enough and people can't keep their hands to themselves, as we were taught as toddlers, the stores will simply leave. And we're seeing that happen with major chains all across the United States. Target, CVS, Walmart, Walgreens, Starbucks, you name it. Target.
Target closing 9 stores due to theft and organized retail crime. Not surprised. CVS says it will close 900 stores by the end of 2024. 10% of all its shops as it moves to online strategy amid rampant increase in shoplifting. CVS is making drastic reforms to adjust to the needs of modern online shoppers. Rival Walgreens also plans to shut 150 stores as part of the modernized drive. Wow.
Yes, Walmart.
Walmart closing stores due to rampant theft. Walmart has been the largest company in the world by revenue since 2014, but they are closing 20 stores this year. Most Americans shop at Walmart, at least occasionally, for many of their go-to destination weekly for groceries, electronics, and much more. Close half its stores in Chicago.
Walgreens.
Walgreens closing 5 more San Francisco stores over shoplifting fears. Retail theft across our San Francisco stores has continued to increase in the past few months, due to 5 times our chain average.
Starbucks.
Starbucks. Oh my God. People are stealing from Starbucks? Starbucks closing 16 stores due to crime concerns. Reverses bathroom decision. Oh, it's over. What the?
Name it, they are leaving major cities. And if it's happening to the major corporations, we're talking billions of dollars, they're deciding to leave these major cities. What do you think is happening to the small local businesses, the mom and pop shops, who can't afford to be stolen from? They will simply just be forced out of business. They don't have the option to pick up shop and move. Pun intended. And you...
Yeah, that's the other thing. These smaller family-owned shops, these general stores or other mom and pop shops, it's like these people are stealing from them. You're stealing from these people's livelihood. This is what they have in order to bring money in and put food on the table to feed their families and children, or just themselves. You're stealing from them. You're destroying their livelihood. You have no one to blame but yourself for stealing. You are destroying people's lives. It is your fault, not anyone else's. You decided to steal. You made the choice to steal.
Well, no, I have plenty of criticism to levy out to major corporations. I'm not a fan of them, but here I understand what they're doing. When you live in a society that emboldens criminals, we are the ones who become slaves to the criminality. We are punished by glass cases or our favorite stores leaving or having to clutch our bag every time we're out in public. And that's just the reality of it. That's where this goes. So we've seen what happens when we allow for progressive policy or restorative justice in our major cities. It ends with us being punished. So maybe we don't need to be
soft on crime.
Maybe we need to start holding people accountable. Maybe we need to root out all the criminals in our communities so that we can go back to normal life. And if the world right now or your local Target is looking like a dystopian nightmare, it's leftist logic that got you there. But guys, those are just my thoughts. I'd love to hear your opinion on the matter. Who do you agree with more in this instance? Drop it in the comments down below. As always, I encourage healthy debate, so duke it out, but do so respectfully. And if you like this video, like, subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified every single time I post for you guys, which is every single day. And I'll see you next time.
First of all, okay, I'm gonna tell the truth, but I feel like you're just trying to accuse me of stealing. No, broke people steal. I'm shoplifting.
What the fuck is the difference between shoplifting and stealing? There isn't one. All right, here's the thing. I can't solely 100% blame the people who are stealing, but it's still their fault. They decided to steal. The other thing is, prices of everything are constantly going up. Housing, gas, food, electric, you know, all this sort of stuff. They're going up and up and up in price, where people's pay are not keeping up with it. See, if the pay kept up with the prices of everything, we wouldn't have as much of a problem. But the other problem is that they made it so that the law cannot enforce itself upon the people who are causing these crimes. They made it so that they can't go after these people until they've stolen up to a certain amount of dollar. What sense does that make? Shoplifting is stealing is stealing. Call it shoplifting, theft, stealing, whatever you want. It's all the same. If they are shoplifting or stealing, whatever you want to call it, They need to be caught and punished. That's it. That's how it should be. But yet they made it so they can't be punished until they've stolen up to, I think it's $900. After that, they apparently can get in trouble with the law, which makes no goddamn sense to me whatsoever. But it's how it is now. It's so fucking stupid. We need to crack down on this stuff. Otherwise, it's just going to keep getting worse, and we're going to be at the mercy of people who are stealing. And all these mom and pop shops and everything are going to lose so much money that people are going to lose their livelihoods and a way for them to bring money home and put food on the table. But let me know what you all think in the comments below. I would love to hear your opinions on this. If there are any other videos you'd like to see me react to, please make sure to comment them down below or over on my Discord page. I do have a channel over on Twitch that I stream to Fridays through Sundays, anywhere between 2 and 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. So please go give me a follow over there, and I'd love to see you there. A link to everything will be in the description below. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.